let's find our comfortable seat, adding the blanket or pillow underneath your hips just to support if that feels better for you. And we'll begin by rubbing the palms of our hands together. Bringing focus and energy into the palms. And then take the fingertips and brush across the forehead, temples, or cheeks, brushing away any worries or expectations. Bring the fingertips to the eyes, palms to the cheeks, turning your attention inward. And take a couple of deep cleansing breaths. When you're ready, you can float your hands down, either keeping your eyes closed or gazing gently downward. Extend your spine up tall, shoulders back and down. Lifting your heart with each inhaling breath. Sitting bones sinking toward the earth with each exhale. We'll tune in with 3 ohms. Feel free to join in or just absorb the vibrations. Take a full breath in. Take a moment to absorb the vibrations of the mantra as it connects us all as one. Allow yourself to settle here this Saturday morning. And set an intention for your practice, something you'd like to nurture or cultivate within yourself. Bringing your awareness to your breath. Allow each inhale to bring you here, to this room, to this moment. Allow each exhale to release anything not needed for your practice today. With your next inhaling breath, allow your belly to soften and expand. And as you exhale, gently draw the belly toward the back. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding on the inhale, contracting on the exhale. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly and open the ribs, reaching them out to the sides. And as you exhale, contract the belly and relax the ribs. Follow your body's rhythm, expanding and opening, contracting and relaxing. With your next inhaling breath, expand the belly, open the ribs, and lift the chest, creating space for your heart. And as you exhale, contract, relax, and lower. Continue this full deep breath, expanding the lungs in all directions with each inhale. Completely releasing the breath with each exhale. With your next exhaling breath, gently return to your natural breath. Noticing any changes you feel in your mind or body. Remembering that our breath is always with us to help find those moments of peace and calm. When you're ready, you can gently open your eyes. Oh wait, I forgot. Never mind. Close your eyes again. I got distracted. Go ahead and bring your awareness to your right hand, allowing the tips of the thumb and pointer finger to come together. And bring those fingertips to your heart center. Turning your attention deeper inward toward your heart. Looking within for your inner light and your inner joy. As you find that connection with the light within you, allow its warm glow to flow on the breath throughout your entire body. As you find that connection with your inner joy, allow it to radiate up onto your face in a smile. And breathe it out into the space around you. As we continue our practice, allow your light and joy to flow through each breath and movement, honoring all that you are in each moment. When you're ready, you can float your hand down and gently open your eyes. And if you'd like to switch positions or change your legs, please go ahead and do that. With your next inhaling breath, let's scrunch the shoulders up by our ears. And as you exhale, press the shoulders back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, lift and squeeze. Exhale, back and down. Let's bring the hands in front of the chest, palms facing down. Tuck the shoulders back and down, gently squeezing, lifting the heart. Strengthening the muscles around the scapula, holding them in place. Now let's press the elbows back toward each other, lifting the heart, gently squeezing the center of the shoulder blades toward each other, wringing out any stress or tension. And then let's open the arms wide, turning the palms up. Lift the heart a little more if that feels okay. Tuck the shoulder blades down, drawing the lower corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. If it feels okay, you can flex your wrists, pressing through the palms. And we'll bring the arms in front, crossing the right over the left, bending at the elbows, hands back to back, or left hand around the right wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Gently squeeze the arms together. Pressing the elbows forward, breathing into the upper back. Allowing the jaw and the neck to soften. If it feels okay, you can gently lift and lower the arms, extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with your next inhaling breath, if it feels okay, lift and arch the back gently. And as you exhale, fold over, letting the arms drop down, being careful with your low back, letting the weight of the arms open through the upper back. And then with your next inhale, coming back to center, gently unwrapping, open the arms wide. And then bringing the arms in front, crossing the left over the right, Bending at the elbows, hands back to back or right hand around the left wrist. Elbows up to shoulder height, dropping the shoulders away from the ears, gently squeezing the arms together. Pressing the elbows forward as you breathe into the upper back. Jaw and neck are soft. And then gently lower and lift the elbows if that feels okay. Extending that stretch around the shoulders. And with the next inhale, gently lift and arch if that feels okay. And as you exhale, gently fold forward. And with the next inhale, come back to the center. Unwrap the arms to extend them out to the sides. You can either keep the palms open or close them into fists and make some circles with the wrists. And reversing the circles. And bringing the palms together at the heart. Interlace the fingers, press the palms out in front. Roll the shoulders forward, drop the chin round the spine. Inhale, lifting, gently arching. Exhale, round, pressing those palms out in front as you round the spine. Inhale, lift and arch. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. This time as you exhale, leave the palms up and gently drop the chin toward the chest. Softening the elbows, roll the upper corners of the shoulder blades toward each other. Gently squeezing, wringing out those trapezius muscles across the shoulders and into the neck. Allow the jaw to soften and release the back of the neck a little more if it feels okay. Pressing the palms up toward the sky if that feels okay for your shoulders and elbows. And with your next inhale, lift the chin. And as you exhale, let's float the hands down. And take a breath in and out. Let's bring the left knee to the right, so we'll sit on the right hip. And then we'll inhale the hands behind the head, interlacing the fingers. Exhale, bringing the left elbow toward the left ankle. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. This time hold and breathe. Dropping the right hip toward the mat. Lifting the right elbow up toward the sky. Chin is gently away from the chest. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. Exhale, float the hands down, left hand to the right knee, right hand behind the right hip. Lift the heart facing forward. Exhale, gently twisting toward the right. Head comes around last. Lifting the heart with each inhale. Gently twisting through the ribs with each exhale. Allow the shoulders to soften, the neck to lengthen. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center and let the breath go. And we'll switch our legs. So bringing or sitting on the left hip. And having supports of blankets or blocks to make that feel more stable. And with your next inhale, we'll bring the hands behind the head with the fingers interlaced. And as you exhale, bring the right elbow toward the ankles. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Hold and breathe. Dropping the left hip toward the mat, lifting the left elbow up toward the sky. Breathing into the side of the body. Chin is gently away from the chest. With your next inhale, lift up tall. As you exhale, float the hands down, right hand to the left knee, left hand behind the left hip. Face forward, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gently twist toward the left. Head comes around left. Lifting the heart with your inhale. Gently twisting through the exhale. Hold and breathe. Finding that edge between flexibility and inflexibility. And with your next inhale, come back to the center and let the breath go. Let's come back to cross-legged for a moment. And we'll place the hands on the knees and let's make some big circles with our torso. Opening the hips and stretching the low back. Thinking about the ribs reaching out all the way around the circle that we're making. And the next time you're in the center, go ahead and reverse directions. And then we'll come back to the center, lifting the spine tall. Let's keep the left leg drawn in and we'll extend the right leg out. You can stay on the blanket or cushion if you'd like, or remove that if that feels more comfortable. It's up to you. Start with the hands on either side of the right leg, lifting the spine. As you exhale, tilt the pelvis forward. Gently walking those hands out, lengthening the spine with each inhale, softening through the exhale. Noticing where you feel that tightness or tension. It might be in the back or the hamstrings. Breathing into it, softening around it. About reaching through the heel, pressing back through the hip and sitting bones. Soften a little more with your next exhale. And with your next inhale, we'll lift up tall. Let's bring the right hand to the left knee. Turning the torso to face that left leg. Inhale the left arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach the right shoulder toward the right leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, reach. This time, hold and breathe. Dropping that left hip toward the mat. Reaching the fingertips across the ceiling. Chin is away from the chest. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll float that right hand down. Nope, left hand down. Right hand over the right leg. We'll counter pose with crescent by reaching that right arm over the right ear, or if it feels okay, you could lift onto that left hand and left knee, lifting up. Reaching from the fingertips. And then gently lowering down. We'll switch our legs. We're going to turn our torso to face the left leg, flexing the foot, hands on either side of the leg. Lengthen the spine. Deep breath in. And as you exhale, tilt the pelvis, gently reaching out over the leg, just as far as feels okay. Lengthening with the inhale, softening with the exhale. Letting go a little more with your next exhale. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll turn to face our bent leg, placing the left hand on the right knee. Inhale the right arm up by the ear. And as you exhale, reach across the body. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, reach. Inhale, lift. Exhale, reach. Hold and breathe, dropping that right hip, lifting the heart, reaching through the fingertips. And with your next inhale, lift up tall. We'll float the right hand down to the mat. Left arm extends out over the left leg. Counter pose, lifting that left arm, reaching. And if it feels okay, lifting up onto the knee and hand in crescent. And then gently lowering down. Let's come to the center of our mat. Bringing the hands behind the knees, we'll round the spine and gently roll back. Extending the legs out, tucking the shoulders under. Gently scan up the body, noticing any parts that feel tired, achy, or sore. Honoring yourself and your body by listening to its messages. Pushing yourself to your edge, but not beyond it. And remembering that each time you do yoga, your body is a little bit different. Let's bend the right leg, floating the hands to the knees. As you draw it in toward the chest, lengthen through the neck, soften around the hip. Keeping the left hand on the knee, allow the right arm to fall out to the side, palm facing down. And with your exhale, gently twist over the left side of the body, vision toward the right arm as much as feels okay for your neck. Release the muscles around the hip, easing the spine into the twist. With your next inhale, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. Exhale, toes reaching toward the ceiling. Inhale, flex, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. Now begin to make slow, gentle circles with your ankle, stretching your foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel. Gently drop the sitting bones and let the low back arch slightly, feeling those hamstrings release from the sitting bones. And then tucking the pelvis, drawing the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Continuing to reach through the heel, belly muscles are strong. Stay here, or with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. Lengthening through the neck, belly muscles are strong, reaching through the heel. Stay here or gently flex the left foot, lifting it slightly off the floor. And stay here or release the hands. And then gently release the left leg. With your next inhale, lower the head and chest. And as you exhale, let's gently bend the right leg. We'll bring the knee outside of the hip. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, bring the hand behind the knee, or bring the arm on the inside of the leg, taking hold of the arch of the foot and lifting the sole of the foot into half happy baby pose. Softening around the hip. Noticing where you might be holding on, and let go with the breath. Let's bend the left leg, and then we'll bring the right ankle to the left thigh. You can gently press the right hand, sorry. Did I say that? I don't know if I said the body parts right. Put the right ankle to the left thigh. Now I can't remember what I said. You can use the right hand to gently press the right knee out to the side if that feels okay. Or if you'd like to lift the left foot off the floor, take hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Gently drawing the left knee toward the body, flexing the right foot. Breathing into the right hip. Gently letting go. Notice your neck and shoulders. Allow the neck to be long and the shoulders to be tucked under. Releasing any worries or frustrations stuck in the right hip. Allowing them to float away on the breath. And then gently release. And we'll extend the legs out. Just notice what may be the same or different on the right to the left. And let's bend the left knee, floating the hands to it as we draw it in toward the chest. Shoulders are tucked under, neck is nice and long, soften around the hip. Keeping the right hand on the knee, left arm falls out to the side, palm facing down. And as you exhale, gently twist over the right side of the body. Hip comes off of the mat, foot comes across toward the floor. Vision toward the left arm as much as feels okay for your neck. And with your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. Extending the leg up toward the sky, take hold behind the hamstrings, calf, or ankle. Exhale, toes pointing toward the ceiling. Inhale, flexing, pressing through the heel. Follow your breath, releasing the front and the back of the leg. And begin to make slow, gentle circles, stretching the foot as far as it can go in each direction. And reverse the circles. Reaching through the heel, gently drop the sitting bones down, slightly arching the low back. And then gently tuck the pelvis, drawing the belly muscles down as you draw the leg toward the torso just as far as feels okay. Stay here, or if it feels okay with your next exhaling breath, lift the head and chest toward the leg. Inhale, lower the head and chest. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Hold and breathe if that feels okay, or continue coming up and down. You can also flex the right foot, lift it a couple of inches off the floor, holding there. Neck is nice and long, reaching through the heel, belly muscles are strong. And if it feels okay, you can release the hands. Gently releasing the right leg. Inhale, lowering the head and chest. Exhale, Gently lowering the leg. Oh, wait, no, bend the leg. All right. We'll bring the left knee outside of the ribs as far as feels okay. You can stay here, or if it feels okay, slipping the hand behind the knee or bringing the arm on the inside of the leg, taking hold of the arch of the foot. Again, moving into half happy baby pose. Softening around the hip, gently letting go. And let's gently bend the right leg, releasing the left and bringing that left ankle across the right thigh. Placing the left hand on the thigh, you can gently press the knee out to the side if that feels okay. And you can also lift the right leg off of the floor, take hold behind the hamstrings or over the top of the shin. Flexing the left foot as we draw the right knee toward the body, just as far as feels okay. Lengthening the neck, shoulders tuck under, breathing into the left hip. Releasing any anger or anxiety stuck in the hip, letting it float away on the breath. And then gently release, extending the legs out, just taking a moment. Then we'll bend both legs, bringing the knees over the torso into Appanasana. Breathing into the low belly. From here, you can gently roll to your right side, pressing up with the hands, or slip your hands behind your knees, kick your feet over your head, and gently rock up. Let's go ahead and come forward onto our hands and knees if that feels okay for you today. Could come down onto forearms if it is not feeling okay to be on the hands today. All right. So again, coming onto hands and knees or onto forearms. Inhale, lifting the tailbone, arching the back and gently lifting the chin. Exhale, rounding the tailbone, or tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, and dropping the chin. Inhale, lifting, spine follows. Exhale, rounding. Follow your breath. Releasing the front and the back of the spine. And with your next inhale, come back to table pose. Let's come down onto our forearms. Having the elbows underneath your shoulders, interlace the fingers. We're going to reach back with the right foot, tucking those toes under, and then reach back with the left, coming into a modified plank. If you'd like to have your knees down here as you work on that strength, please go ahead and do that. Pressing into the forearms, belly muscles drawn up, reaching back through the heels. Do one more breath. And with your next exhale, press your hips up behind you. And then if you'd like to kind of come back and forth between the plank and the dolphin, you can do that. If you'd like to rest in dolphin, you can do that as well. If you'd like to bring your knees down, you can do that as well. And then with your next exhaling breath, let's lower the hips to the mat. We'll unlace the fingers and walk the arms out in front of us. You can rest your forehead or chin on the mat. Take a breath in and out. And with your next inhaling breath, let's lift the right arm and the left leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm and right leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right arm, left leg. See how long I can say the right body parts. Exhale, lower. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Exhale, lower. Go ahead one more time on each side with those opposites. And you can continue with the alternating pattern if you would like, or if you're feeling okay lifting both the legs, both arms and both legs at the same time, we can go ahead and do that. You can leave the arms out. You can bring in front, you can bring them out at a T, or you can bring them back by the hips for a little less strain on the low back if that's feeling kind of tender today. So listen to what your body needs today. And again, you can either alternate or lift both together. So with your next inhaling breath, we'll lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. You can either continue coming up and down or hold and breathe or continue alternating, listening to what your body needs in this moment. And then with your exhale, gently lower down. Take a breath in and out. Let's bend the arms and rest your chin in the palms of your hands. Then turn your toes out gently if that feels okay for your ankles. And see if you can spend a moment just softening around the heart. Our arms are gently protecting the front of the heart so that we can release through the back of the heart anything we may have there that we're holding to protect us. See if we can soften around it in this moment. Notice also if your shoulders are kind of up by your ears, if there's a way that you can gently soften those. And then let's gently release, and we'll bring the hands under the shoulders. Press the hips back to the heels, coming into child's pose. So rounding the spine, arms extended out, or if it feels better for your knees to keep the hips up higher into reclined puppy, you can go ahead and rest here. Finding the position that feels good for you. In child's pose, your knees can be together or gently separated. Finding something to rest your forehead on, whether that's the mat or stacked fists or a block. Allowing the weight of the forehead to rest and release the back of the neck. Breathe into the spine, creating space between the vertebrae. Release the weight of the body to the earth. And we'll gently roll the spine up. One vertebrae at a time, head comes up last, shoulders up and back and down. You can tuck the toes under and work on gently stretching the bottom of our feet here, either leaning back, sitting onto the heels, or being on the hands and knees and gently rocking back. And we'll bring the soles of the feet to the floor, coming into Uttanasana, forward bend. If you'd like to have something under your hands, please do that. Spreading the toes wide, pressing the feet into the floor, lifting up through the hips. Release through the back of the neck as much as feels okay. Keeping the knees slightly bent as you push into the feet and lift up through the sitting bones. And with your next inhaling breath, let's soften the knees, sweep the arms out and up, palms together over the head, and exhale, hands to the heart. And let's come to the front of the mat. We'll step back with the left foot, keeping the hips facing the short end of the mat. So we're coming into Virabhadrasana 1. Making sure our toes are out far enough so that when we come in, drop into the high lunge that our knees aren't going past our toes. So with your next inhaling breath, sweep the arms up over your head. And as you exhale, bend that right leg, pressing the right hip back, left hip forward, reaching back through the left heel. You can keep your arms here or bring the elbows out to cactus or bring the hands to the heart, depending on what feels right for your shoulders today. Keeping those hips squared with the front of the mat, keeping both legs nice and active. And if it feels okay, gently arching. With your next inhaling breath, gently straighten the legs. We'll float the arms down, interlacing the hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders back, lifting the heart. As you come to your next exhale, extend the torso out over the right leg. Inhale, lift and lengthen, strengthening through the back. Exhale, reach. Hold and breathe here, pressing into the right foot, reaching back through the right hip, lengthening through the back of the neck. Keeping that left leg strong and active. As it feels okay, you can extend the torso out over the leg, dropping the head toward the knee if that feels okay. If you'd like to add a chest opener, you can press the palms of your hands together. Roll your shoulders back and lift the arms up over the back of the head. We'll lower the hands to the low back if they're not there already and release, floating the hands to the mat. You can have blocks here under your hands if that feels more accessible in the moment. We'll bend the right leg. We're going to lift the left leg behind us, coming onto fingertips or onto the blocks, gently flexing that left foot. You could stay here, or if it feels okay, releasing the floor. Well, maybe not today. Lifting the torso. There we go. Arms can be by our sides or extended out one arm or both. And when you're ready, you can float the hands down. Let's see if we could do a standing splits, bringing the forehead toward the leg, lifting the left leg up toward the sky just as far as feels okay. And then lowering that left leg back down. Coming into Uttanasana, lengthening through the back of the legs and the spine. Softening the knees, sweeping the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Take a breath in and out. And then we'll step back with the right foot. I'll switch sides here so you can see. Left foot pointing toward the short end of the mat, right heel dropped back. Hips are facing the short end of our mat. Again, making sure our toes are out far enough that when we bend that left knee, that the knee does not go past the toes. So we'll inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, gently softening, bending that left knee. Left hip presses back, right hip presses forward, rooting through the right heel. You can either keep your arms here again or bring the elbows out to cactus or hands at the heart. And if it feels okay, you can add a gentle arch. And with your next inhale, we'll gently straighten the leg, float the hands down, interlace the hands behind the back. Inhale, lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, gently fold over the leg. Inhale, lengthen and lift, lifting the torso, strengthening the back. Exhale, fold. Hold and breathe, lengthening through the back of the neck. Keeping that right hip pressed forward, left hip back. Softening through the low back and releasing the back of the neck as much as feels okay. If you'd like to add the chest opener, pressing the palms together, rolling the shoulders back toward each other, lifting the arms off of the back just as far as feels okay. Gently lowering the hands to the low back and dropping them to the mat. Again, using blocks here if that feels more accessible. We'll bend the left leg, lifting the right foot off of the floor, gently flexing, coming onto fingertips if that feels better, or on the blocks. Keeping that left knee slightly bent, right hip drop down. Finding a focus spot to support your balance. You can lift the arms if that feels okay. Arms alongside the body, or extending the left arm, or extending both arms. And floating the hands down, dropping the head toward the leg, lifting the leg up toward the sky as high as feels okay. And then dropping that right foot back down. Softening the hamstrings. Softening the knees. Inhale the arms out and up, palms together over the head. Exhale, hands to the heart. Let's turn to face the long end of the mat, and we'll spread our legs nice and wide. We'll turn the heels in. Toes pointing toward the top corners of the mat, bringing the hands to the crease of the hips. Let's soften the knees. I'm going to need to walk my feet out further. There we go. Coming into horse pose. So we're sitting down on a horse. Press actively into the feet and lift the heart, soften the shoulders. You could stay here, or you could work on lifting one heel and then the other. You could also work on lifting both heels, again, using a focus spot for your gaze. Hands can stay at the hips or come to the heart. And if you'd like, you could also bend the elbows and wrists with the palms up, coming into the goddess stupa pose, tucking the shoulder blades down. Lowering the heels, bringing the hands to the inside of the knees. Dropping the hips a little bit more. Sorry about tipped over there. And then let's take the right shoulder, drop it to the center, turn our vision toward the left knee, gently pressing back against the right knee, opening up the hips just as much as feels okay. Twisting through the upper torso. Inhale, coming back to the center. Exhale, dropping the left shoulder, turning our vision toward the right knee. Dropping those hips and gently pressing against the left knee if that feels okay. Twisting through the torso. And then inhale back to the center. And let's lift up tall. We'll bring the feet to face the long end of the mat again. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, swan dive, hips out behind us. And then floating the hands down under the shoulders onto the floor or block. Soften the knees. Press the feet into the floor. Lift the sitting bones up toward the sky. Placing the left hand on the floor and underneath our vision. With your next inhale, sweep the right arm up toward the sky. Lengthening through the spine, twisting through the ribs. Floating that right hand down, placing it under your line of vision. With your next inhale, sweep the left arm up. And with your next exhale, gently lower down. Let's walk the hands over toward the right leg. Hands on the floor, or excuse me, mat, block, or leg. Turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg. And let's place our hands on the floor and lift the toes, bringing them to face the short end of our mat. And then bringing the hands on the inside of that right foot. We'll come up to the toes of the back foot, dropping down into a lunge. Your knee can stay in the air or be on the mat. Again, think about pressing that right hip back, left hip forward, and releasing through the front of the left hip. And drop that left knee down. And if it feels okay, you could bend the leg, getting some stretch in that front of that thigh. If it feels okay, you could reach back, taking hold of that foot, the foot and drawing the heel toward the hip. And releasing that, let's come back to the center. And we'll walk our hands over to the left, hands on the floor, block, or leg, turning the torso to face the thigh, lengthening down over the leg, pressing into the foot as the hip reaches high. And placing both hands on the floor or block, bringing the toes to face the short end of the mat, hands on the inside of the foot. We'll come onto the toes of our back leg, dropping that hip down. Again, the knee can be in the air or on the floor. Right hip presses forward, left hip presses back, and soften the front of the right hip. Again, dropping the knee down. If you'd like, you can work on bending the leg, or if it feels okay to reach back with the left hand, taking hold of the foot as you draw the heel toward the hip. Releasing the foot, we'll come back to the center. And let's walk our feet closer toward each other, stopping just outside of hip width apart. If you'd like to use a block here, place it in the center behind your heels. Bending the knees, dropping the hips, coming into either a high Malasana squat or a low Malasana squat. Resting onto the block or down by the heels, or if it feels better to come all the way to the mat, you can do that as well. Walking the feet a little further out, pressing the elbows or upper arms into the thighs or knees. Hands to the heart. And gently coming the rest of the way down. And we'll come back to cross-legged. Extending the spine up tall, shoulders back and down. With your next inhaling breath, reach to the crown of your head. And as you exhale, gently drop the right ear over the right shoulder, tucking the right shoulder back and down as you breathe into the left side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, drop the left ear over the left shoulder, tucking the left shoulder back and down as you breathe into the right side of the neck. And with your next inhale, come back to the center. As you exhale, turn your chin over your right shoulder. With your next inhaling breath, come back to the center. And as you exhale, turn the chin over your left shoulder. With your next inhale, come back to the center and let the breath go. Let's bend our knees, coming to the center of the mat. If you would like to go ahead and begin to cover up a little bit more now, please go ahead as we're starting to cool down. And when you're ready, gently rounding the spine, rolling back, lengthening the neck as you lift the legs up toward the sky, rocking your hands or a block underneath the hips, supporting the legs. Ankles and knees are relaxed as you breathe into the belly. And gently bending the knees, rocking the hands out from underneath the hips. And hug the knees in toward the torso. You could rock from side to side, or drawing the knees in and out, make small circles with your low back. If you're making circles, you can reverse those. And if you'd like one last twist, you can bring the arms out at shoulder height, palms facing down, knees together, gently dropping the knees to the right, vision to the left. With your next inhale, using the belly muscles, lifting the legs back to the center. Exhale, gently lowering to the left, vision to the right. With your next inhale, coming back to the center, lowering the feet down, and extending the legs out into Shavasana. If that's not feeling good for your low back today, you could add a bolster underneath your knees or bend your knees a little more, walking the feet to the outside of the mat and resting the knees together. Also, if you would like to cover up with a blanket to keep the warmth in your body, go ahead and do that as well. So once you get settled with your legs about feet about hip width apart, unless your knees are resting together. Arms slightly away from the body with the palms turned up. Shoulders tucked back and down. Relax the forehead. Soften your eyes. Loosen your jaw. Gently bring your awareness back to the breath. Allowing each inhale to fill you with a sense of peace and calm. Allowing each exhale to release anything that no longer serves you. Release your muscles from the bones, surrendering them to the earth. Feeling its strength and support beneath you. Let the breath bring you back to your heart center, reconnecting with the light and joy that always reside deep within your heart. Let each breath fill your heart with loving kindness for yourself. Sending that loving kindness to each and every cell of your body. Honoring all of who you are in each moment. Gently begin to wiggle your fingers and toes. Stretch in whatever way feels comfortable for you. When you're ready, gently bend your knees. Roll to your side and rest there for a moment. And then gently return to a seated position. We'll end with a metta blessing of loving kindness. Please feel free to join in. May all beings be safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be healthy. May all beings have peace. May all beings awaken to the light of their true nature. May all beings be free. The light in me honors the light in you. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. For our world, for our communities, and for ourselves. Thank you all so much for joining me today and taking some time for yourself.